हेलो एंड वेलकम टू दिस वेरी स्पेशल शो। वेल, आज हम जिस कंपनी के बारे में बात करने जा रहे हैं, पिछले 2 ढाई साल रादर से हमने उसमें ज़बरदस्त ग्रोथ देखी। वेल, मैं कंपनी क्यों कह रही हूँ, दिस इज़ एक्चुअली अ बिग बिजनेस ग्रुप दैट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट। और इस बिजनेस ग्रुप के बारे में मैं थोड़ा सा और सस्पेंस क्रिएट करूँगी बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट यू टू नो दैट दिस ऑफ कोर्स इज़ अ फेडरेशन ऑफ कंपनीज, मल्टीनेशनल कंग्लोमरेट, 100 से ज़्यादा देशों में इनकी प्रेजेंस है। इट्स ट्रूली मेड इन इंडिया फॉर द ग्लोबल मार्केट्स। बिजनेसेस की बात करें तो 20 से ज़्यादा इंडस्ट्रीज़ में इनकी प्रेजेंस है, बीट आईटी, टेक्नोलॉजी, ऑटोमोबाइल, हॉस्पिटैलिटी, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज, एग्रीकल्चर एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ। वेल, पिछले 2 ढाई साल में जो हमने ग्रोथ देखी है, दिस ग्रुप हैज़ बीन ऑन एन ओवर ड्राइव अक्रॉस ऑल बिजनेसेस। जो प्रदर्शन है वो सराहनीय है एंड रियली ड्राइविंग दिस इज़ द मैन right now who I'm sitting with. I have the privilege and honor of talking to Dr. Anish Shah, MD and CEO at Mahindra Group. Dr. Shah, thank you very much. Lovely to have you on the show. जैसा मैंने इंट्रोडक्शन में कहा, जो पिछले 2 ढाई साल में काम हुआ है फ्रॉम द स्ट्रैटेजी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, आई थिंक जो फोकस है, एंड यू आर नोन फॉर इट, आई मीन रेज अ शार्प फोकस। ये मैं नहीं, जो लोग आपके साथ काम करते हैं वो बोलते हैं। डिसीजन मेकिंग, time management, I think all this is culminating into something which is really powerful, and the growth in each of the businesses is showing. तो मैं सबसे पहले, because you've now settled very well, 2.5 साल आपको as the MD and CEO हो गए, इस ग्रुप में आपने 9 साल अभी recently complete किए हैं। So ये जो growth strategy आपने शुरुआत की और आज जहाँ हम पहुँचे हैं, I know it's still baby steps, I'm sure you have a big target. Tell us about it so far, and अब यहाँ से हम ग्रुप में जो एक एक्सूबरेंस देख रहे हैं वो बरकरार रहेगी।
Swati, first, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. We have done a lot, and all the credit goes to our teams. The primary focus for us has been whatever we do it very well. Be bold, be agile. The world is changing rapidly around us. We see various startups coming in and being very bold about what they want to do. Why can't large companies do the same? We have the resources, we have the talent, we have everything that we need. So why are we bureaucratic in terms of what we do? And that is something that we've really broken out of. And in many ways, if you go back into the past, that is what the Mahindra Group has been. When we acquired Satyam, when we started Mahindra Finance, when we began holidays, life spaces, that is exactly what we've done. So we're going back to our core of entrepreneurship, of being bold, being agile, not behaving like a large company with bureaucracies, but behaving like a group of entrepreneurs that are really out there to build something and to leave something meaningful.
The group is about $19 billion मार्केट कैप की अगर मैं बात करूं, आपने कैसे, बिकॉज आपके लिए नंबर्स ऑलवेज इंपॉर्टेंट एंड आई नो दैट, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी, रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी, शेयर होल्डर्स इंटरेस्ट, ऑल ऑफ दैट ऑलवेज इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू। कहाँ देख रहे हैं इस ग्रुप को जाते हुए, और उसके बाद हम फिर कौन से आपकी यू टॉक अबाउट द जूल्स, द ग्रोथ जूल्स, वो क्या होंगे, वहाँ पर कहाँ तक ईच ऑफ द बिजनेसेस हैज रीच्ड, वील कम टू दैट, बट कहाँ से $19 बिलियन से आप कहाँ लेके जाना चाहते हैं इस ग्रुप को?
So we are looking at many multiples its size.
Sure.
Specific numbers, specific guidance, we cannot give, but all I would say is many multiples its size. And that's what you are seeing in our businesses today. Our auto business is growing leaps and bounds. SUV market share has gone up from 13% to 20% in just the last 3 years. Capacity is being doubled. We will likely do a little more than that as well. So we've got one business running all out. Many other businesses are running at a very rapid pace as well today. And our growth gems, which we will talk about, have a challenge to grow 5x in the next 5 to 7 years. And a couple of them have already got plans in place and have started actioning those plans. Others are starting to get those plans in place. But we're putting some fairly bold targets out there and realistic in achieving them as well.
Okay, bold yet realistic.
That's good.
Okay. Growth jewels. जो ग्रुप है उसमें बहुत सारे बिजनेसेस हैं, मैंने थोड़े बताए, बट देर आर फार टू मैनी, आई थिंक मोर देन 15-20 कंपनीज इफ आई वर टू लुक एट इट। 3-4 जो सबसे फंडामेंटल कंपनी रहेगी, जो स्ट्रक्चर आपने ब्रॉडली बनाया है, विच यू आर फ्रॉम द डे वन वर्किंग ऑन, please, will you want to just share that thought process with us?
Yes. So our approach is that we've got four large businesses. Auto and farm, we've got market leadership.
Correct.
So we want to capitalize on that market leadership. Mahindra and Mahindra Finance are both very strong companies, very good in their respective areas, and there's a lot more potential. So our approach is to unlock full potential in Mahindra Finance and Tech Mahindra. And then our growth gems is a collection of very good businesses. Three of them are listed today, others are unlisted, and they are mid-size, so they're not very small. When we started this path, they were much smaller. And it was in some ways a rounding error as compared to the four large businesses. If you look at it today, and this is something we've shared with analysts, the collective value of these growth gems is over $3 billion. And that 3 billion can go to 15, 17, maybe 20 in the next few years because these are very good businesses, very well positioned in the markets, and one we are starting to see a lot of progress in across the group.
Okay. So इसी पर मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगी, when you're saying these growth jewels have this potential, what exactly are we talking about? और इसमें, because I know you will have a priority list and you will say this ticked off and then comes a second and so on. So वो order क्या है of focus of these growth jewels?
So this is not a priority list, right? This is like children. You love all of them. Some businesses have got a plan in place already and are moving ahead. So one is Sustain, which is a solar business. We brought Ontario Teachers in as a partner, and they are helping us tremendously in terms of how we grow this business. The business has a plan to go from 1.6 gigawatt in assets to 7 gigawatt in the next 5 years. The second one is last mile mobility or electric three-wheelers. This is a business that really was worth 50 to 100 million 3 years ago. And today it's scaled up very well. We're starting to see benefits of that in terms of a greater ambition for growth, and that greater ambition for growth being translated into reality on the ground.
Yes.
You've seen the increase in market cap in these companies as well over the last 3 years. And that's again a function of the greater ambition and the execution on the ground.
Okay. So जो मुझे समझ आया इसमें ये that 2 other unlisted companies, 3 listed companies, ये 5 आपके growth jewels हैं जिसमें potential है to grow many fold. I mean 3 से 17-20
Yes,
billion.
and there are 3 or 4 other growth gems as well.
Okay.
So this is just
you want to just talk about them as
the
well?
starting point.
So इनकी growth plans intact है, but how do you unlock the value of these companies? आप इनको list करेंगे, you'll get partners in the company, investments कैसे लाएंगे इनमें, इस पर क्या सोचा है for each of them?
Our plan is to list them and have them be public companies like we've done with companies in the past. So over the next few years, as they grow larger, we will take them to the public markets.
Coming to the certain size bit, and I know आपने हर company को targets दिए हैं, very clear, realistic and bold as you said. तो इन सब के is there a formula, is there a math? I know you say 5x over a period of 5 to 7 years. Is that what is largely the plan?
That is largely the plan. So there's no specific number to say you got to hit this number and then we can go public.
Sure.
It's more about having the scale. It's about being a leader in the industry that we are in, and having the potential forward as well to be able to grow that business. So when investors come in, they should be proud to be investors of a Mahindra company.
Sure. So this is the broad sense of the companies and the pillars of growth for the Mahindra Group. But जो आपके flagship companies like automobile, farm आपने बात की, technology में IT, Tech Mahindra for example, these continue to grow and they are a chunk of the business that you do. इनका क्या plan है? How do you see that business grow? What are the targets that you've set out for these?
Similarly, very bold and realistic at the same time. Auto has already delivered a lot.
It's at least showing now, yes.
Electric vehicles are going to come in starting next year. Born Electric for us, XUV 400 is already there today. And with that set of electric vehicles coming in, we're going to be at a completely different level. We are on track for them right now. I've test driven some of the early cars that we manufactured as we continue to finalize our production, and they run extremely well. So I'm looking forward to personally driving them as they come out as well. Beyond India, we see a lot of potential in global markets also. Uh, we have been in global markets, but we've been at smaller market shares. With the kind of products we have in India today, we should be able to get much larger shares in many markets around the world. And that is going to be the next foray for us.
Obviously auto business continues to be the big focus area, but यहाँ पर जो growth जो आपने target की है, and with the steps that you mentioned, export market exploring or going bigger there, light commercial vehicles यहाँ पर focus ज़्यादा है, तो कितनी growth हम expect करेंगे? Because you already are a very big business, so base is already very big. So the growth on that is going to be important.
See, 2 years ago, we were making 24,000 SUVs a month. Today, we make 37, 38,000. By the end of this fiscal year, we should make 49,000 SUVs a month. Then, as you add electric to it, we will likely make more than that. So, that is a 2x growth in a span of about 3 years. And we will likely do a lot more than that 2x growth as we move forward.
Clearly growth बहुत strong focus है, और growth के लिए you'll need investments and you are backing that through and through. Going forward, जिस तरह से आपको demand दिख रही है, आपके plans हैं with the new products, with the segments that you are now choosing to get into, etc. The capital that will be required to invest, वो कितनी है? अगर मैं each of the businesses का segregation समझूं, तो auto से let's start.
So if I again first start with the capital that we've generated, or the net cash we've generated in the last 3 years, has been significant. And recently we shared it in a breakup with auto, farm, and services, which is all our other businesses. And services generated over 5,000 crores of cash in the last 2 years and 1 quarter, which was frankly even higher than auto, which generated 4,500, and farm, which is 4,000 something as well. So we've got 3 engines that are very strong in delivering that cash. So from a capital standpoint, we have no concerns. We are generating enough capital that we will self-invest. There are many investors that are willing to and want to come in with us as well across multiple businesses.
Okay.
So for us, the most important part is keep our heads down, focus on areas of growth, don't do things outside our key strike zone, but where we play in a very high level.
Sure. Do less, but do it well.
Do less, but do it well. That's exactly the mantra.
That's what your mantra is. That's what I sense. Return on equity and return on capital. I think उस पर भी from the beginning you had some target set out. In fact, you've overachieved it. अब because you have under-promised and over-delivered, I think अब expectation ये है कि आप deliver तो बेहतर ही करेंगे जो आप कहेंगे. So 24% will further go up. What's likely the return on capital now, or return on equity that you have?
So when we said 18% target, a number of stakeholders, whether it was investors, analysts,
They were
media,
surprised.
everyone said, this is impossible. You can't achieve 18%. Why are you setting such higher target? And we were in single digits at that point in time. And we had said 18% in 3 to 5 years. We got there in 1.5 years. We are still at 18%, because what we tell investors is we want to deliver growth and returns. And we are going to invest more to grow and therefore accelerate that part. We also came back a year later and talked about a 15 to 20% EPS growth that we will deliver. There again, thanks to our teams, we've delivered a lot more. Our F26 target we delivered in F23. So we still continue to keep a high bar for that. But for us, 18% is a good number to have from a return standpoint for investors, and we'll balance that with growth. If we feel that we can still achieve more, then we will give capital back to investors. And that's something that we are open to doing.
Okay. And there is a chance that you will achieve more.
There is a very good chance. If history is a good predictor, then we should be able to do that.
Okay, that's music to the ears of shareholders, I'm sure. But challenges, obviously, this journey is not as easy, and I mean, you made it look very easy, but जो challenges भी साथ में है with the external factors, with the global markets pressure that we are seeing, the vulnerability that we see. Of course, we are better poised than many other nations, but we do have our own intrinsic challenges. And at the group and different businesses that you're in, उसको कैसे आप overcome करते हैं, and what are the big red flags that you want to address and will be very cautious about?
You're right. There have been many challenges already. And this is something that will continue. In the world that
Exactly.
we have today, we just go back to the auto business. The supply chain challenges were enormous. And almost every day or every week, we'd get a call from someone saying, I don't have a semiconductor for your key, so I can't give you keys for the car. I don't have a semiconductor for the wireless charging that you have in your car. So different parts were not available from time to time. And I think the team did a fantastic job trying to find alternates, in some cases, even manufacturing cars without a certain part, putting them out on the lot, bringing the car back when that part came in. So they've gone through a significant number of challenges. Uh, what we see about challenges in the future is that the reality is we don't know what they're going to be. That's part of the world today. Therefore, our teams have to be ready to be able to live in uncertainty and to be able to be agile, therefore, to address the uncertainties. So I think the key for us is to ensure that the plans are realistic. Right? We don't like what we call hockey stick plans. The growth may be very high at points in time, but the message to all our teams is be realistic in what you're planning, because next month you're going to be asked questions as to what have you done and what are the milestones. And therefore, it's great to be bold, but you
Realistically
can do
bold.
that bold once. You've got to deliver on what you commit.
That's important, and I think वो उससे आप align रखते हैं सबको for the main target that you have for the group. I was asking you about the market cap or for the group at this point in time where बहुत सारे businesses, as you talked about, have so much more potential to grow. Case in point, Mahindra Finance, Mahindra Life Spaces, इन दोनों पर मैं specifically आपके responses चाहूँगी. But for the group overall, क्या target है? Where do you see the group's market cap should be? While I mean, we all know that इससे बहुत ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए, but what is the real number that you think it
Market
should?
cap targets are for the media and for investors to set. Our goal is to deliver what we have to do. So that is something that we are focused on.
But you think ये fair value है company का?
As a CEO and a CEO who's done well, or a company that has done well, there's always going to be a lot more room going forward. So that's something that any CEO would tell you. But yes, we are optimistic because we feel that we have done well. We feel that our businesses are very well positioned, and therefore we should be able to deliver a lot more value to shareholders.
Okay, Mahindra Finance and the financial services business, कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं आप इस बिजनेस में? कंपटीशन बहुत है, फ्रैगमेंटेड भी है in many ways. You think opportunities in the M&A space is the way forward?
For us, it's always important to build strong businesses and have the right processes to grow. M&A may help opportunistically, but that is not the core strategy. Mahindra Finance is a very good business. It's got a high degree of strength in rural and semi-urban areas. And because of that strength, over the years, it has built a very good franchise. At the same time, it has struggled in some areas because of volatility in NPAs. That volatility has been addressed now. The focus on asset quality is very, very strong. And therefore, as we look at Mahindra Finance going forward, it's a very good platform. It's addressed some of the challenges it had in the past. And therefore, we feel that it should be able to generate value equal to or more than its peers have in the marketplace.
Life spaces, that's another interesting business. आपका model very different from the rest. पहले तो समझाइए sir, the kind of business it's generating, it's doing very well. Focus and growth वहाँ पर क्या होगा?
So Life Spaces is focused on residential real estate. Because of our brand, there's a very strong ability for us to grow there. And we've had a very strong business in industrial in some parts warehouses and to some parts building industrial cities in a sense, which we've done in Chennai and in
The
Jaipur.
SEZs, erstwhile, yeah.
As well as SEZs. So we will continue to do a lot on the residential side. We will continue to spend more time on industrial and see how we take that business forward as well. And the key in life spaces is execution. We've seen very strong execution in the last 2 or 3 years, and that is something that has positioned the business very well today as it looks to take the next leap forward.
What are the targets for the group, for the company, let's say over the next 2-3 years?
Same target as all our other growth gems, 5x in the next 5 to 7 years.
That's a mandatory.
That is a challenge for all of them, and we are these businesses are well positioned to be able to deliver that.
Okay, you believe that they are well positioned to deliver. So again, realistic yet bold targets that you've given. Finally, मैं आपसे एक सवाल जो जानना चाहूँगी, 2.5 साल पहले जब आपने बिजनेस को लिया था as the MD and CEO, having seen the company pretty decently from the inside because you were the strategy head, उसके बाद CFO भी आपने रोल संभाला था, जो लीडरशिप चेंजेस भी आपने किए हैं, so far, how, of course, the results have proven it, but did you think at that point that you will deliver this kind of growth in this little time? Or were you taken by surprise?
I knew that we had a very strong team, and even some of the changes that have taken place, we've had some leaders retire, and we've had very strong leaders come in. We've got a very strong culture. So we inherited something that was phenomenal. And that's something that I've seen over many years and I've really appreciated. So the underlying strength was there. We've also delivered as a group in the past. Mahindra has been the best performing stock in the Nifty from 2002. At one point, it was till August 2018. But we've regained that. And if you look at the numbers today, we'd seen them a couple of months ago. At that point, we were the best performing again from 2002 till now. So we've delivered in the past as well. So this is not a surprise in many ways. It was just about core execution, about being bold again, going back to being entrepreneurs who we were or are, and then focusing on delivery. And as we do that, we should be able to continue to deliver. So yes, we've done very well, but I would not say this was a surprise. I would say that this was something that we felt good about.
Felt good about, and it was intended to be the way it's turned out to. Thank you so much, Dr. Shah. Lovely speaking with you.
Likewise.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.